Cool. I'm still gonna move into partial humiliation. Admit I did a 10-second rule with this spoon. Whatever. I like to document that for my own personal notation. Oh, so one day while I'm wearing my fall winter jacket with my underwear and bikini, the underwear, top, bikini on the bottom. It's cause I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again. Going back to modeling agencies. Now I'm gonna try to work this out with my school, my other works. But I think I'm gonna really just supermodel. I think God wants me to have this right now. I try. And I think that He's finally instilled me with some form of character that I decided I'm gonna document it with you. As a reminder to myself, I'll keep the corn. Right. So then let's just have some discussions because we're backlogged on a couple of things. Like a lot of things look messy in the chaos, but look at when it starts to refine itself out. Bam! Watch this dog. So I decided to do a docu-style series. It's a fictional representation of what it's like to be an outpatient rehab, and kind of like we're gonna explore day-to-day lives of different characters and the characters around them, and the office space, the Starbucks, stuff like that. And we're gonna get gritty. Like we're gonna compare and contrast. We're gonna learn some things, and I want to keep it. I'm sorry. I like things comedy. You know, Shakespeare and drama. They're like you got two options. It's gonna be extremely hilarious or 100% tragedy. But guess what? It's all the same damn thing. So you won't have to pick one of them. There is no serious happy ending. There's just. I was watching this. Oh man, I'm so glad. Oh, yes! Thank you so much for showing me that anime. But yeah, she's the master. She's the master's weapons trainer, and she has like a neck piece and a little bow tie. And it's funny. She travels around with like a little mouse that has a bow tie in his tail. And he nigga like just sips tea on top of her hair, and he's trained like she's a master at the Ryukin dojo with these specific martial arts trainers. There's my mirror. Clean. Hello. Clear on here than here. They say when you do something like this, it counts as like a time warp because it jumps back and forth realities. All right. Um. And immediately when I saw her, she was sexy. She had this fishnet. She wore this short ass purple kimono. Which at first I thought it was a stick, nicely decorated stick, but it's a shield and a sword. And she's cool. She taught the nigga how to swim and dive off a cliff. Because the bitch was hungry. She wanted fish. Doesn't even wear a regular bikini. Oh man, she's a fashion model. Okay, so like, I mean, there's this dude. He's a kung fu master too, and he's known for being a perverted. Outside for being a great master, like he has a specific style of martial arts where like he can part his way and catch things in between his fingers, like. But like he shows up because also at like these random times when like girls get in skimpy bikinis, like he has his favorites. Like he likes the blonde girl. He likes, of course, the loincloth master weapons trainer. Like everyone knows she's the. She comes out. This dude is crushing on Blondie, who brought her to her home to live with her and her family. So her grandfather's the great grandmaster, and he like runs the dojo where these different travelers who now become like family trainers, dojos from the dojo with different styles that they all hang out with each other. Me and Earl trying to figure out who the weapons master's boyfriend is. I'm so fine for him. So I like her. It reminds me of me. Who her boyfriend? Is she gonna settle down and have children? Like, I mean, what's that life gonna be like for her? It's gonna be hard. You can't. How does a female warrior turn into a maternal? Because you don't want those weapons to come to your house ever, ever. You don't want your kids to live like that. Unless they're just training, like the little girl and the boy, for self-defense, and that's different. But she's specifically a weapons master. I'm not gonna continue to break down the morality of these characters and the different conflicts they make think in their minds that help develop their personalities and characteristics. But I will tell you that look one of my outfit. Actually, look one was the one with like this piece, my blue bra. My hair's not tied down like this completely. I'm so glad this weave is straight. I'm gonna comb this out. I stand like this, bitch. My shadow side is this side. I've been bringing the shadow with me. I don't know how I do this. Oh, what's this stuff? See, when I wear this jacket and I dress like this, it's easier for me to wash it. Then I don't mind being indoors and outdoors for him. Hello. Good boy. I don't keep him in the yard, so I guess I have to treat him to make him know that home is that's place for him. Wild little thing. Have you chasing him? Then I couldn't find his leash right away because he was already out, and I didn't want to go look for the leash and find out he's gone somewhere else. And now he is really going. No, I'm kidding you. And sometimes I feel like upset. I feel like it's the outside people who want to be his owner that keep egging him out of his gate. Like these fucking people who doing construction over here. Man, these motherfuckers, I don't like their energy just because of that shit. Because dude is outside. He's a puppy, you know what I mean? Like, he has a lot of energy, and we have kids and stuff like that. And so he needs to go outside to, like, you know, to move his energy, because he can't be jumping on the kids, using them as his shit toy. We give him lots of toys, and you know how dogs are, they're going to destroy him. You can't just keep training him like that, because he needs to develop some type of autonomy. There he is again. Bingo! Come here, Bingo. Come here, Boo Boo. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. No, 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 tree. Sit, Bingo. Good boy. Good boy. You're right. I'm trying to eat my food still, too. Good boy. Damn, there was something I was supposed to be doing for you, though. I've been talking. I've been telling you my stories. What was the story that I got? I told you about the characters. I told you about my rehab plan for the video. It's outpatient rehab. Motherfucker, there's a 58% to 80% chance that you were going to reuse today. What was that for statistics? And what about today is today, and you're supposed to be going like this. God, grant me this already. There's also the NA one for narcotics. And how do they say? Just for today, I will live independent of this addiction. I will live independent of this. Name the thing like marijuana, weed, alcohol. Well, alcohol's alcohol. You know, crack, heroin. Just for today, I will live without heroin. I will seek out associations who are not users, and I will focus on my new associations. Which I started to think that could really lead to being very other centered, which is not always a bad thing. But like when you start to obsess about your others, like you start to neglect your family and other people just because they're not new acquaintances. That's also a red flag too, because it's just like you can't always just jump in. You have to develop stability. But I guess you will develop stability as you understand that new associations are not necessarily always people who are going to stay in your life, but they're people who refine you as you pass through and you test your character and yourself and you test yourself, challenge yourself each day with specific goals and things like that. And hopefully you have positive goals and intentions. And, you think of creating something other than yourself, and so maybe that will impassion you to meet these new associates, and maybe you inspire the people around you who are closest to you as they try to live this path too, because you never know who's going to fall behind you. So, oh, there's a police car there. What happened? I got hit. Um, Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, bing, bing. You getting low? You don't like because you got popped recently. You bit up the puncher after I let you out inside the house. You listen to trash. Bing, 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 bing. I don't really feel like he listens to me without treats. I think he does, but like me and him are having problems with me figuring out how pet discipline is supposed to work. Cause I'm starting to understand because he don't speak our language. He take it as a direct like it's completely different with the kids where they understand why they're being punished the minute that they do something wrong and then you punish them, you forgive them. Like a dog, you forgive him and he act like he doesn't even remember that you had a problem with what he just did because he's gonna do it again. And that's frustrating to me. 100% frustrating to me. And then I'm like, and I start preaching Bible on it. I'm just like, you know what? It told me, I'm not supposed to cast my pearls before swines and dogs like you. So I was just like, I should have known that. I shouldn't have expected you not to eat this thing up. This is different without the music. You like this look though? Oh yeah, I was supposed to be practicing something. Hold on, I'll be back. Every road I take, every step I take. I wonder sometimes what type of person I would have been if I actually finished my high school course as a varsity crew team member. I didn't decide. I decided not to do the basketball like I told the school I was gonna do because I did basketball in middle school and elementary, and I realized I wanted to focus on. I wanted to develop my femininity because I knew that I was actually blooming. So I didn't think that I was gonna do that well as a basketball player. But I did notice that some of the crew girls were whore teams and members, and so I kind of liked that because I was like, well, I definitely get to learn how to wear. But then, like, then one bitch showed up for herpes, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this lifestyle is not what I really. So I became a delinquent instead. But now, sometimes I wonder, despite that, more of the discipline aspect and saying that I did it, I wonder what, if I was doing my mathematics and my calculus at the same time while I was going like this. Bro. But you know what? Now that I've graduated as a college student, I'm up here as my master's, closing in on my PhD. I really think that, like, so long as I keep my youth, I can be a tiger again. I can be. That's a different type of strokes because on the boat you go like this. You use your legs. That's why they threw me straight on varsity. First of all, you were gonna throw my junior ass into JV one because I'm about to graduate in a year. They go, you're not playing me. They were like, we want those legs. I was like, I know you do. Everybody wants that. They want me from on. They want me not to row boats because I'm strong. Like, I was like, you know what, God, ensure them. I'm like, you did it. Like, come on. Yeah. In fact, I think I was wearing a jacket just like this that day. Boom, 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 boom. Culture centers out. I was supposed to have a date that day too. I didn't even know where I was gonna go on it. You know what? I had convinced myself that I was gonna let my crew team convince me to go out with this boy. But what happened? I was running. So just to run outdoors this day. Cold as fuck. And you're just like, you know what? When you get in that boat, you're gonna be in cold conditions. Might as well start getting used to using your body in the cold. I was like, I've avoided this through all of my other trainings, all of my various sports. And I've always dropped out doing cross country because it's the same damn ass weather. And this motherfucker, I joined a team that's gonna go in the spring on the water. They got my ass running out here in the winter. So, running, running, running. And then I come upon somebody that I know. Oh, right on here. I see him. And at this point, you know, it's funny as an athlete, you never think you're gonna start smoking. I started smoking cigarettes. And I was just like, yo. And you know, kind of sitting around, and more so because I wanted to start talking. I wanted to start just shitting, chatting, talking to some people that I recognize. You know what I mean? Because I haven't fully integrated myself with everyone on the crew team. I had like two friends, actually one main friend, the other one she was only an associate because we had class together when she was mainly friend with the girl that I was cool with. So then I was just like, all right, I'll three team this one and decide how I really feel down the line because I liked her. I didn't know her, you know what I mean? I liked her. Just didn't really know her. Yeah. And so I saw them and I was like, give me a cigarette. Give me a Start smoking a cigarette. Then I started asking questions because you know that's what you gotta do. You start gathering information for your day-to-day knowledge. Might show up in your gossip. Oh, that's when you're not supposed to gossip. Hey, it's not always gossip sometimes. When I think about it, sometimes it's like passing on information. Information that's useful. That's what I like to do. I don't have time to talk about other people. Then in high school, you still have to keep your ears up on what the fuck other people are doing. Because then your ass won't fall into the stupid ass trap this motherfucker's already doing. So, like, I definitely knew how to watch out for herpes. And I also found out, dog is ready. You ready, come in? Come on, boo boo. Let's go. Come on. Ow! On my foot. No, boo. Sit, 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 sit. Sit, bingo. Sit, bingo. Sit, bingo. Good boy. Good boy. Let's go. Good boy. Good boy. Keep going, bingo. Bingo. Right. This is what dog lovers like to do. You guys like to do this shit. I don't like doing this shit. Why the fuck are we idolizing it? It's because we love them. hype the shit out of myself for my future agency. I gotta actually do it. Back to the whole point of our outpatient rehabilitation center. It's not working. Why isn't it working? Psychologist. You haven't adapted the purpose of why you need to, or you made some conviction, and in this case, I'll admit that I think I'm using it for a research project, but that's not good because now I'm chasing a euphoria, and yeah, everything from the social dynamic to I guess the pause sessions, and I guess the scenarios that I ultimately create through my actions myself, yet inspired mainly in large part by my current substance use. It's not heroin, crystal meth, but still, something legalized. The truth, any of these things could have been legalized at one point. So the importance is to realize why a person would need to not be on it. I think the main draw is that they notice that people who have to come off of it experience more pain coming off of it than a person who have never used it at all. So then you would wonder why a person would ever do drugs in the first place, knowing that the torment that you would have coming off of it is way, 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 way more implicated and complicated than your initial first use, which was simply a choice at some point for you. See, I convinced myself this also is used in Rastafarianism. I read my Bible way more often when I leave rolling paper. I know better than to rip paper with the words on it, unless I can be sure I can write that word on my heart. And that was not a good day. I figured I was 17 in a group home, so God had allowed me to understand some things. My mom never wanted me to explain this story, to be honest. But I think we should, because it'll help us understand what happened as medical opioid usage for her. Um, she was in so much pain, which Michael Jackson died of that, and apparently Prince too. I found out Prince tested positive for this very high dosage, medically used pain reliever for people who've had hip surgeries. And Prince had a lot of hip surgeries because he was wearing high heels, and that's what it does. And I took care of a woman who had a hip replacement, Mrs. Rips. Oh, I miss her. She wanted to make me a star too. And this rich old lady that I met at Starbucks started helping. Found out about what happens when you take a hip surgery and you disregard the cane and start using a wheelchair, and what once was your mobility is now gone. So I became dedicated to the practice of. Well, one, after I met Mrs. Rips, I didn't want my mom to lose her legs because I knew she had diabetes and the neuropathy started there. So Mrs. Rips inspired me really for my mom. Although my mom got jealous. My mom got jealous that I was training Mr. Rip. Both of them are dead. I don't know if Mrs. Rips is dead. Mom is dead. And I laugh about it because like I let them meet each other like over the phone. Like they had one conversation, maybe two. Maybe they talked often. I usually let my mom talk to the adults that were changing my life at some point because I wanted her to know who was trying to put a stake in my life. You know what I mean? So, and at that point, my mom could advise me on them, which I really did appreciate. My mom being my number one advisor, my favorite advisor. Although sometimes I used to fight her, and I realized I fought her for a lot of things that was just my personal ego issues, and me trying to develop myself and using her as a sounding board. Because parents are very patient. I wonder if I'm going to be that type of patient. I wonder that. This dog's a headache already for me. It's not even the children. And the children are cool too. But I realized that I know that I'm their aunt. Like I know that I'm their aunt. I get to walk into my relationship. I don't get to take it off, but I get to walk into it. Parent, you're there and fully invested. I'm still invested, obviously, in my nephews and my nieces because they're here with me. But and I think about how I'm gonna like establish myself. Because everybody does, right? It reminds me of my ex's little sister too. I kind of liked her style because in 2 or 3 outfits we were wearing the exact same thing. I was just like, I like you, little bitch. I knew you were cool because it would always be. I call it my spirit outfit. I call it my spirit outfit because I'm just like, this look works for everything. And you know what I found out? You know what I found out? You know what model is? It's Voyager. No. Voyager. Well, models have to be Voyagers, actually. They're expecting you to go to New York Fashion Week, Japan Fashion Week, London Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week. You want to go to Bangladesh to do out your portfolio? You want to take pictures on the beaches in the snow season? Make it look hot, bitch. Like we in Maui. We are in Maui. It's just ice, bitch. We can afford it. Voyager. Definition of Voyager. Fur transporter. They wear it on them. Fur vest. Right on. Actually, this is a vest. Thank you, Target. This could have been an Abercrombie jacket too, though. We gotta rock this as a $80 bra, $210 jacket, light jacket. Not even a winter jacket. I wore this in the winter once. Light jacket, winter. Oh. They would disagree with my hair though. They would want this a little bit straighter. No cornrows. You only allowed 1 to 2 braids, bitch. That's it. That's it. You better do that Princess Diana one braid. I wish I knew that skill when I was working for them. I learned it after, and I'm just like, damn. If you imagine, if I had known this hair technique, I would not have been afraid of being natural. Cause like they like the natural when it's out and crazy. I'm like, that can't be maintained. Like I can't get my length doing this out and crazy look, which I like. Wow, that is me. But the snow is gonna ruin my ends. I'm gonna have split ends. I'm always gonna cut my hair. And you know these hairdressers, some of them are saboteurs. So like, you know what I mean? Like unless I can keep this up. You see how close my eyes got? I don't even want to look at you really, but I have to get this close up. My husband says he wants a divorce. Okay, I should stop calling him my husband. It's my spirit husband. It's more of like this weird soul tie that happened, and it's just like I don't know how I got into it, but like I'm into it, and like it's cause literally, y'all, God sent me back. Like, what? I told you the story when I started off with the delinquent. I was supposed to be going on a date with him, and then it didn't happen because then I went off with some other kids during my practice time where I started running, and then I got let off where we were chilling on someone's rooftop in the back staircase, smoking J's and cigarettes and drinking alcohol. It was the alcohol. Why did I try to blame the weed? It's the alcohol. See, but when my mama sent me to rehab, when I was just like, okay, fuck it, I'll admit I have an alcohol problem. I won't drink alcohol anymore. And they're like, well, then admit you have a weed problem too. I'm like, you can have a weed problem. Fuck you guys, like. I guess the two went together back then for me. I'm trying to use the previous input that was placed into my life, and then at least admitting that I have a recollection of actually changing. Because I went straight edge where I didn't do anything for like a good like 3-4 years. Not to say that my life is like a wreck or anything like now. I feel like I should say that because it starts to sound like I give one of those morality stories. It's just like, yeah, and that's why I'm fucking up now. I'm like, no, I'm still doing good. God is with me on this one. He's with me while I bear my stupid cross. Hey, What was I gonna say to you? For you. Oh yeah, there was the alcohol poisoning. Poisoning. My sister, I didn't even know what was happening, and they said it died for 30 minutes. They brought me back no liver failure, no brain failure. Like the content of alcohol in my system, they were like amazed that somehow like even I'm tapping myself to make sure I'm here. I was like, thank God, I'm amazed. Because the nurse prayed for me, y'all. You know, this nice lady just ignored her like that. I guess she thought I was a sweet young girl. Brand new weave all messed up because the leaves, because they had to drag her here. She prayed for me, y'all. They brought me back. And then when I was on the other side, it doesn't matter. This is a story because it's just like I still have to let go of this person. Like I just convinced myself that I do just because of what's happening. So, um, you and me used to be together. We weren't always together every day. Together. Oh wait. But then, like, I sometimes think that if the story hadn't changed, would I have ended up being one of those tragic, silly girls? Because I thought I was a silly girl when it came to like liking in relationships and boys to begin with. Because my drug usage has stopped me from being a stupid girl with that boy. And even if I had a real relationship, it would still turn out. What if I had a teenage pregnancy? I didn't have a teenage pregnancy. At that time point, I at least decided I was going to use birth control and condoms. I didn't have a teenage pregnancy. But if I had been lovey-dovey with that nigga like that, I might have had a teenage pregnancy, y'all. I really think about that. I'm like, Crystal, who were you back then? And the only reason that y'all didn't get close, is because that nigga kept pushing you back. So then I was thinking about that. I'm just like, oh, thank God, because then I got an education. And like, I haven't seen this nigga in a long ass time when I'm putting myself together. It's not like I see him again. I'm like, I still like you. You still look good to me. I'm like, I wonder what happened when we get it right this time. Just like, oh yeah, teenage pregnancies. Nah, I'm a grown woman now. But then like, we don't really matching. You don't really understand me. Like, y'all, I'm a new being. Like right now, even when I know to act like this. I'm like, even like next second, I could be a new being. Mama, check people's voice to yours. They're like, it's better than yours. Am I? Oh yeah, I was supposed to be singing my Moana song for you. Oh wait, I'm about to get into an hour. I'm about to be a feature film. A feature film. Step back. There was a dude walking this way, and I was walking this way past the window. Every road I take. Oh wait, is it? Every road I take, every step I do. Dun, 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 dun. Find my way. See the light by the end of the sea. It calls me, and I know how far it goes. See the sun and the light in the sea. It calls me, and then I know I will find my way back. I really don't know but I watched half of that. I watched all of that movie. I just don't know where like that. Those kids watched it like 20 times. The little girl can sing that song, and my sister is really encouraging her with these microphones But see, the thing is, me and her fought because this is mine. Okay, really, I bought this for like $10 from the supermarket because I don't know what they use. They could have been using this for soup or something because it's sold in cutlery. But I was thinking I can use this to move my laundry like a windmill inside a bucket. Um, or as soon as my niece came with that Moana shit, because she got one for Christmas, but hers like could sing and it had the sharp end because it looked exactly like the movie. But I guess because it's not real wood, my niece doesn't think it's the real thing. So when she saw this, she's like, I am Moana. And I was just like, oh, okay, go ahead, Moana. And then she like goes and sees this and bitch like, picks this up. I am Moana. I'm like, bitch, that's mine. Like, yours is upstairs somewhere. Go get that shit. And she's just like, the little bitch steal from me. Yeah, bring my shit back here before I beat your ass. She don't really be expecting because sometimes I let her walk away with it. Then just let her think she got it, and then I'm just like, this bitch really think I'm gonna let her take the thing that I've been. Fuck, bitch, you ain't get my thing. But she's like a little infant, and she's related to me. So what I do is I send her mother on her, and then if that don't work, then like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I take advantage of her superficial weaknesses as a baby and a girl, and baby girl. And she's just like, you know what? You're probably interested in these 5 other things right now. You see these? Oh, nice. Drops things. Get my shit. Door on her. She be crying because she realized it's gone. But come on. Mine's again. Oh. Ah! Woo! I ain't got time for that shit you trying to do over there. Okay? Okay? So I'm not the daughter. You know. You gotta be careful when you do use this one as rag. And these bitches are like, you know what? She really challenging me. Yeah. Are you sure you want to fight me? She be coming. She's like, I'm gonna knock that bitch off her tall, skinny leg. Coming from the back. Already there in front of you, man. Come again. I didn't notice. Come again. Oh, shit, bitch. Ah! Then I heard some bitch spit Beyonce in the face. And like that. It's just like, oh, this is that one is that bad. Next, what's next? You bite me in my titty? Okay, I got you. I had an Asian chick at a club. Don't even know the bitch. Never even had a conversation with her. Definitely wasn't fucking her boyfriend because I don't go around like that. So there's 85% chance of the reason why the bitch don't like me has nothing to do with her man. Ooh. See, if I only knew the lyrics. Oh, wait, that was the song I was dancing to with the other stick. Ninja, you are messing up. You don't miss one weapon. How do you call yourself a master weapons person? And you don't drop one, you don't know where you did it, and you the only one in here. Bitch. Go back, okay? Yeah. You're so ruthlessly judgmental. Like if I had said the same thing to you, you would have been like, why doesn't she give me a break? She know I'm trying my best in this moment. It's not like I did all this shit before, Just putting my previously acquired knowledge to the test, and I just so happen to be graceful doing it. Like, damn, I'm sorry, you can't spiral out into the Himalayas off of a 2 notion finger tap, sideways step, front and back. Not my fault. I trained for this. You didn't. What you mad at? You had the same amount of years as me. What did we do wrong? You wearing Gucci, but I'm still Gucci's model. Why you mad? You can afford Gucci. I'm hoping they give me $60. I heard that's what they do to us. Making me Gucci designer too. I heard they do that too. Oh, shit. And some perfume. You know it smells. Woo! But they're like, you gotta bring something to the table. I'm like, okay, what do I gotta bring to the table? What do I bring to the table? You gotta bring your own stuff. Do I bring your just your je ne sais quoi, bitch, everything. Everybody's trying to figure out how to get this thing. What you do? I exercise. What you do? I eat good. What you do? I eat junk too. I eat crap too. What you smoke, bitch? You just I do. Like what you want? You make mistakes. Of course I do. You try again. Hell I do. Bitch, you up again? Yes. You fucking up. Depends on what you want to ask me on. Sometimes it drops down into my face in my baritone, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm Chris. Why Chris? Because I was just like, you know what? Not that I'm trying to do something wrong. I just realized that if I try to live my life a little bit like a boy, I'll be a girl. Some real good fun. This is a stickball bat. Now I'll play baseball. Every road I take, every time. You put the credits over this right now. The hour movie right there. The hour movie. You want to give them stuff for outtakes? Outtakes? 20 minutes of outtakes? What the fuck you got for outtakes? 1, 2, 3. Oh, careful, girl. You better make sure you got some really good insurance, okay? Because I ain't fucking around nowhere else. And if you ask me to step out on a cliff again, some fucking ass high heels, no intention of catching me, you motherfucker. Y'all parents gonna wish y'all died like 5 weeks ago. That's what I'm saying. Like, your parents might actually wish that. I'm just going to ask God to know that shit. That's not nice, man. Not nice. Ow. Like a ski person. I learned this thing from they're teaching outro martial arts in this anime. So then you learn the first technique because this kid used to get bullied, and so then like she meets this girl, and then she's just like, I'm gonna let you into my family. You can come to this dojo. She didn't even tell her that she's letting you into her family. She just knows that she has a resource that anyone else in the world would be grateful to even get an opportunity. She's just born into it. And what happens? Her grandfather is like the master of this dojo. And he's like, I swear though, when they call it Kenichi the greatest disciple, and then like I feel like whoever made this was literally biblically inspired. Because first of all, the grandfather did some shit like Moses, and like he's blonde, but he got that appearance like because there's two dudes. He's like 28, his hair is short and white, like anime style. He's wearing a red bandana. It's short GI Joe, but he's like tan skin, like brown, like me, kind of like light still, with the white hair. The grandfather, he don't live like two different generations, but the sexy butler, and he wears this man dress because he wears the martial arts, but he's white because he has like blonde hair. Got the granddaughter has this S curl going down in the front. The rest of her hair is in a ponytail, keep it back and long. And then like the grandfather's up there too, got the full blonde hair, but he leave that shit curly. I got a friend named Steve. Yo, I was just like, you know what? Whoever marry you gonna have some great ass hair, cause like Steve's hair was down to here in high school, and it was red, and like he took care of it. And he always wearing a ponytail. I got to see him take it off because I was just ready to take it off. And like this curly me, like you remember like a Beauty and the Beast where like yeah. And then like yeah, sometimes I'm just like, you know what, I'm just a terrible Belle because like I could have married Steve. You my beast prince. You like but no. I guess I'm just we see things differently. Because sometimes I feel too vulnerable with Steve. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when I do start to share my vulnerabilities, I realize it's a negative catalyst for me, and that while understanding this individual it starts to kind of like pacify me into my weakness. That's what I feel like. That's what actually happens. Because then I find myself getting angry at him when he was only trying to make me feel better about the things that I was saying was a legitimate cause for concern. I felt sensitivity of why I didn't feel uncomfortable. Usually because of people, situations. Like I've always been, I guess, a whiner to Steve, and And he's always been a great friend because he's always been able to like we've always been able to have experiences where even though I can have these moments where like I'm talking about these things right now, they're deep emotions, I'm admitting like a fragility or vulnerability where I just like where I admit and I'm not 100% or even 98% sometimes. Like my grades my grades be low sometimes. Like I'm the one who's like, did you get an F minus that one day? Shut the fuck up. We're not talking about that today. You got 38 wrong in the test. I might have gotten 45, but I told the teacher, just leave me the fuck alone with this. I said 38. Nowadays I'm an A student, I'm a B student. They're holding that shit up. And sometimes I hold up so much, I be lagging behind on myself just so I can show you I can get a C on my day off. And that was good. And sometimes I pay the penalties and the consequences for those things. And I have friends that like carry me. And I appreciate that and it's a great thing. But I realize that we all interact with people differently. So like we always take responsibility for our emotions and how we're behaving. We have to understand the imperceptible but ever present fact of people's influence over us and our peers and our family members and the people we choose to associate influence us to bring out different things, either positive or negative, based off of qualities that they are actually actively engaging in and having their own preconceived agendas. And sometimes people like to bring you into their agendas. Like, you and my ex having problems with them. I keep trying to bring him into my agendas, and he doesn't really like my agendas. I feel like my agendas are it's like dating a Republican and a Democrat. You know what I mean? One's real liberal and the other one's conservative, and they meet somewhere in the middle, and that middle is where we meet. And but like, you know what I mean? It was just like, okay, someone liberal probably would show up like this. Although in the Donald Trump faction, Donald Trump might have bitches show up like this because he goes to all the studios. But I mean, like, let's just say it was more Democrat, and someone like this is trying to preach proper gun rights, which I'm like, I don't know if I would take everyone's guns. Like, first of all, you have to I feel like you should have your right to have a gun, but you really have to ask yourself when you finally decide why did you even need to purchase it. And if your reasons were like completely far out there, like you have to ask yourself, put it on paper to ask yourself why you decided you need to get a gun. Like, sell the gun you have right now with the ability to buy back, and then ask yourself, really, why do you need this gun? And if you don't have a legitimate reason why you need this gun, and I have to ask you when you're hunting things, there's no better way for you to practice this thing, and then without using bullets because the safety. Is it really, really? I really think that you can get this done with a slingshot built on a right 90-degree angle wood stick. I think you can do that. I think you can go like this and practice, and you can do trigger marks. You can do laser tags where you can count the amount that was hit on a specific target, and we can sensitize them with little things on the. Like, you just ask yourself, and then like if you still need a weapon, like damn, like by all that time you didn't learn how to throw a fucking flowing dart at the thing when you ran out of the fucking. Damn, man, because I mean, I guess the dangers of those two, you don't want to knock one of those out. But then at that point, you learn to grab a shield and be like, fuck all of that. Or I don't know, like how do you incite and stop individualism and warfare? And I don't say individualism as your right. I say individualism and the right to attack. The right to defend is always present because you have no right to attack a person. It's not okay. You're not even that powerful to create yourself. Do you think you have the right to destroy something that was not created even by you yourself? That's how I feel. Although I be popping the dog, but like it's different. It's different. Like it's different, right? I mean, I didn't understand this. I ain't trying to hurt him. I tell him no stuff in my foot anymore. This shit hurts. It just backs up. And it's really because like I know that I plan on having a baby soon, and I'm a little weak down here in my womb, and so like he jumps up and he hits it, and I'm just like, if I was pregnant, that was the end of it right there because of the sensitivity. So I feel like a natural like antagonism, even though I love him, but it's just like I'm just trying to train myself to like become stronger in that area and like proper training with him. But like it is a frustrating thing because I just like I don't know what to do. Like I ain't gonna lie, like I looked at some of the practice. Some practices seems hopeless because I don't think that I have all the time that I could get to him and the other things that I need to do. It's just like. Oh yeah, and the freaking anime, the dude had a freaking art. They built it. They built a wooden boat, and the dude that looked like Moses, Jesus, Moses. Yeah, he's just gonna call me captain now. He's like, we've sailed to the edges of the where? He's just like something about being on the sea makes you admit like something because they were proud to display that was number two. She's like, dude was on the boat like, why y'all call this number two? What happened to number one? And then they had to hold the one master's mouth because this nigga started telling them, and they were like, no, this nigga's already freaking out on the boat. Don't tell him what happened to number one. This is number two now. Like, on the boat. We really made it to an hour. 0.2. I mean, what? We gotta take the outtakes out. What? We got a 45 minute. We gonna lose like that? We give him 2 hours then. We give him 2 hours then. We give him more. We give him more. Jezebel never really give him more. We give him more. We give him more. Give him more. Give him more. You give him more. You give him more. Does he like more? You might want to work for more. You need more. What? 37. 8 attack. 10. $100. $200. 3. $5.99. 7. 8. 9. 8. 1. 2. 1. 2. Oh wait, there was this attack this bitch was doing. I was like, I'm sure that's what she does for her tips. Boite.